So I don't know if I'll make this into a full video, maybe, but I'm on my way to the garden to harvest some herbs. Today is Father's Day, and I am going to try and make some steak. I am going to make filet mignon that I got from Butcher Box, as well as some other steaks that I got from them, as well as some mashed potatoes because we harvested potatoes and we have them, so need to use them. And I don't know, maybe there's some green beans out here that I can harvest, but I am coming to get some herbs. I have not successfully made filet mignon. I always it's always overcooked, and I don't really like overcooked steak. All my zinnias are still leaning over in my lisianthus from the storm that we had, so they are all leaning over. This one's falling over and then it's curling back up to reach the sun, so it still looks pretty, but it is falling over. Oh my goodness, this zinnia that I put here randomly, I just had one more zinnia and I was like, I'm just gonna plant it here, is gorgeous in this in-ground right here. That's so pretty. I have this tomato right here that was mostly diseased, and I cut it down. And I just want to show you that it is growing back. And so hopefully it'll grow back not diseased, and it'd be awesome. Okay, so I have some sage here. So I'm going to take some of this sage leaves. Yes, Nael. Yes. My daughter Nael is too short to open the gate, so she wants to come in here with me. Are you gonna help mommy? Mm-hmm. Say hi. Hi. We also have some oregano here. I won't need all of this oregano, but I am going to cut it down because it is really high. I also have some rosemary right here that's getting really big, which is awesome. So I'm gonna cut some rosemary off. Can I pick them? Yeah. Like I said, I won't need all of this, but got my basket of herbs here. Oops. We have some shishito peppers. I've actually never had shishito pepper when it's turned before. I've always just picked it green. So that's interesting. So maybe I'll blister these and have some as well. I have no idea what this pepper is, but it is really big, and I'll use that too. All of these peppers must be like these lunchbox peppers that I got from, I think, Baker Creek or something, because they're all this tiny and so cute. Now show me. What do you have? You have blueberries? Good job. Look at this, guys. My first red tomatoes. I've been picking a lot of yellow or orange, but these are red tomatoes. Where'd that one just go? I think these weren't the spoon ones. The name tag is up front. Let me go turn around and see what it is. Actually, it does not have a tag, so I have no idea what this tomato is. But I do see some other red ones. Okay, I see the tag now. It's called a Jasper. This is a Jasper tomato. I feel like I got it from what's that place called? I remember now, Johnny Seeds. So this row I did not get to pick up all these tomatoes, but these egg tomatoes are finally starting to blush and turn, which is awesome. Then we have these right here. What is this one? This one is a Matt's Wild Cherry. So that has to turn. These are the egg tomatoes. That's such a pretty color. Oh my goodness, look at it. More sunflowers have opened. Two, and this was the first one. So I have all of these Santa Fe Grandes on this one plant, and I think I'm going to take them and actually, is the Santa Fe Grandes that one? Let me see. So this one is actually the Santa Fe Grande, these plants right here, and there's so many on them. That one is a Hungarian yellow. But I'm going to take some of these Santa Fe Grandes and pickle them with some of the cucumbers and have it for dinner tonight. All of these right here are Santa Fe Grandes. And I'm just going to use the tip of the scissors to put them in my container. So for these Hungarian yellows, I'm going to take some of these and actually grill some of them and see how we like them. My husband actually is from New Orleans, and when we first got married, he really liked spicy food, although I don't cook it much and we haven't had it in a long time, so we'll see what he thinks about these. This is so cool. I've never grown noodle beans before, but this is what they're looking like. That's so cool. This handful I got of green beans, got my noodle beans, peppers, cucumbers. I just was about to walk away and I see maybe 4 Armenian cucumbers. There's one ginormous one in there. There's one right there. There's another one right there. There's one on the ground here. I see a Chinese snake bean. I mean Chinese, what is this called? Chinese cucumber, Chinese snake cucumber that right here is not doing well. I'm thinking about pulling out because every cucumber I've had from this plant has been bitter no matter what size I pick it. So these 2 Armenian yard-long cucumbers are like babies. They're huge. And if you don't know that these cucumbers, actually it says that it tastes like the rind of a watermelon, which it does, because when I let my kids taste it, I asked my son what he thought it tastes like, and he said the rind of a watermelon. So I think that was the perfect description. And you can still eat them when they're this big. Can you hold that? Can you hold 2? Yeah. Are you strong? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's bring it in the house.
2 watermelons.
There's 2 watermelons? Yeah, there are. What do you think about these 2 watermelons?
They are yummy.
They're gonna be yummy?
I was tapping over and so that watermelon like why did I tap that?
Oh yeah?
First there was 1, but then there's 2.
And then there was 2? Okay. Those cucumbers are like your babies, Niall. They're as big as you. Okay, so we are in my kitchen, and the first thing I did when I came in, I gave the tomatoes and the blueberries to my 2 daughters, Anaya and Nehemiah. I think Niall had. Did you have a tomato? And blueberry? Yes? Okay, and then I have my herbs I put inside of this bowl. I have all of the cucumbers except for the 2 baby ones in here. I'm going to add some cold water in here because I did pick these at 6:30, and so there's not going to be a lot of water in them, and if I leave them out, I'm just like they already feel, you know, like they just need to be rehydrated. So I'm going to put some in water because I'm not going to be able to use all of these cucumbers to pickle just today, or maybe I could, I don't know, but I'm going to put water in these. I'm going to take the tops off of all of these green beans and freeze them because I have an ongoing quart-size Ziploc bags of green beans that I'm picking, and I'm just taking the tops off and then putting them in the freezer, and then when I have a big enough bag, I'm going to use it for dinner. I have my Chinese noodle beans that I've never cooked with before, but I think I'm going to try and cut them in half and cook with them as well as with some sauteed onions because I think it would go good with our mashed potatoes and steak. So we'll see about that. I have also my peppers up here. These are the Santa Fe Grande, I believe. No, these are the Hungarian yellow. And then my other Santa Fe Grande I separated, and then my shishitos and the other lunchbox peppers I separated as well. first thing I'm going to do is I had my girls rough peel these potatoes for me. I'm going to put them in the Instapot with some water and put them on 10 minutes. Then I had some shrimp in this bowl defrosting with some water, so I'm going to drain that and then put them on some paper towels, let them dry. I also had different types of steak. So since the steak from Butcher Box, the filet mignon that I said I'm going to cook, only comes in a 2-pack, that's going to be for my husband and I. But then I also had my son take out, what's this one? This one is a beefsteak loin strip. So there's a 2-pack of that. Whew. Because I didn't know what I would do with that. Or I figured I could do, what's this one? Beef tenderloin steak tips. So I have even thought about maybe doing this for the kids, but we'll see. I might just cook all of it and go from there. But first, let's start these potatoes. And then we're gonna add water in here to cover the potatoes and salt. So I'm going to cut this Chinese snake, what is this called? Chinese snake cucumber, and try it again. This would be the 4th one. If this one's bitter, this would be the 4th one that I've tried at a different size. And if it's bitter, I just don't understand. I will probably pull out that plant since it's, well, I'm going to pull it out anyway because it's looking diseased. But if this one tastes bitter as well, I don't know. Maybe I might try and grow it in a different location and see what's up with that. For my daughter's birthday party, we had, when we cooked out, we had gotten paper towels and napkins. And so I don't usually have paper towels, but I'm glad I have them now to dry off this shrimp. Seafood is actually my husband's favorite food because, like I said earlier, he is from New Orleans, so all that Cajun goodness. I actually really like seafood too, but sometimes I get tired of shrimp and then I just need a break and then I go back to it. My dogs are probably barking at the cat. My daughter Anaya has a cat named Fluffo that likes to terrorize one of the dogs. And he just can't wait to get out the cage and play with the cat. Which by playing, he means squishing and jumping on. Okay, so I'm going to try this cucumber again. I'm kind of nervous because oh my goodness! It has this bitter taste. So we have this bowl that we use for scraps, kitchen scraps, that I'm putting this cucumber in. We either feed it to our worms, or we feed it to our chickens, or I compost it in place by just digging a hole in whatever bed and then covering it back. And that's kind of how I compost because I don't bulk compost. So I just kind of like bury it and then it turns into compost eventually and feeds the plants. So that's where that cucumber, that one wasn't actually as bitter as the other ones I've tasted. So I don't know if I'm just supposed to pick them way smaller. I don't know. I have no idea. If you guys ever grown Chinese snake cucumber, let me know. I'm gonna do the same thing with these peels that my daughter used. Put them in here. We also have some eggshells from earlier in here. I'm just gonna add them all to the same container. So I actually have the Santa Fe Grandes and then the Hungarian yellow peppers, and I'm going to quick pickle them with the cucumbers. So I have gloves on because these are hot peppers, and some of them did turn red, which makes them spicier, I believe. And so I am going to cut the tops off and pull out the seeds. and add them to, I have 2 jars here because I think I'll do 2 jars of pickle and just have them in the refrigerator. Okay, so I have most of the seeds out that I'll put inside of our container, but I'm going to split these peppers into half into each jar here. I did try to get out most of the seeds by just pushing my hand through, but I know there's still pushing my hands through the center, but I know there's obviously still seeds there, which is fine. But I'm going to split the peppers into each jar. Okay, now I'm going to work on cutting up these cucumbers. I'm going to try this one first. This was the one that, it was by itself on that, later than all the other cucumbers. It was called a, I think it was a market more, but it was in that bed where I have 2 tomatoes in, and actually no, it was where the pole beans didn't do good, and so I have no idea how this cucumber is going to taste. Let me taste one. Oh, I still have this glove on. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that's going to be spicy. Okay, I just tasted that cucumber and a piece of it, and although the seeds in it are really big, it's not bitter, so I'm still going to use it. And as I'm going along and cutting up each cucumber, I am going to taste them first because I do not want bitter cucumber. That's the Instant Pot for the potatoes, so I'm going to quick release that. Okay, so I have red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. I have my jars redistributed and filled. So I'm going to add a ½ cup of each, oh my goodness. I'm going to add a ½ cup of each of these vinegars. And then I'm going to add a whole cup of regular vinegar. You could use all regular vinegar if you wanted. I just have these vinegars, and so you could even use apple cider vinegar. Okay, I actually am going to take out the pickles and the peppers that I put in here because I forgot that I had red onions that I grew, and I actually want to pickle them too. And so I am going to take out the cucumbers and the peppers that I have in here, mix them all in a bowl with these red onions, and then repack these jars. My sugar, which for one recipe it's calling for 2 cups of sugar to 1 cup of vinegar, but I have 2 cups of vinegar in here, so I'm going to add in 4 cups of sugar. So next I'm going to add in, it calls for a teaspoon of celery seed. I'm going to add in 2 handfuls and stir that in. Okay, I actually have these pans heating up. I'm going to add some ghee to both of them. Then I have my steaks here that okay, so what my daughter did was just fill these 2 jars with the liquid. We were just letting it heat up to dilute or to dissolve the sugar, and once it dissolved, then I had her ladle it into these jars. So this is done. We only had maybe a little bit, let's see, like that much mixture left, and I'm going to put this inside of a jar to use when I need to make more quick pickles. So I'm not going to throw that away. My filet mignon, I already flipped it. It has 1 more minute, and then we're going to put it in the oven. So this is what the steak is looking like now, the filet mignon, and I'm going to put it in the oven. And it tells you on this recipe that I'll link below how many minutes you should put it in for, depending on how well you want it. Okay, that's how the steak's looking. I let it go for about 5 minutes. I'm going to take it out of this pan, let it sit in a plate and rest before we cut it. Okay. Okay, my battery died, so why is it still? This battery is about to die. Oh my goodness. I need a new battery. Hold on. Okay, back with a new battery. My daughter was just sauteing the Chinese noodle beans. All the steak's done, the shrimp's done, the mashed potatoes is done. So let's fix the plate. My husband is outside. Oh, I didn't do the shishito peppers. Maybe I'll do that real quick. My husband is outside with my son. They're moving the chickens, the egg-laying chickens, to another area of grass. So, I'm gonna get his plate ready, and then I'll have him taste it for you guys. Yeah, I'll taste it too. I always do something wrong to my filet mignon, so I'm really hoping that this time I got it right. Okay, this is what the final plate's looking like. I just added some ghee with the chopped up herbs and put them on top. Our dog is barking because he wants to go outside. I'm gonna have my husband taste it now.
Nice. It's pretty good.
Is it tough?
No, it's tender.
Taste the shrimp. It tastes good.
Nia sauteed the shrimp.
You ate the shrimp?
And she ate it.
Good job on the shrimp.
With the shrimp. Nia, was the shrimp good? Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me while I made that Father's Day dinner. I am going to fix everybody else's plate and we are going to eat. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.